Have you ever asked yourself which vehicles were groundbreaking and remain so to this day? Long-lasting influences are American muscle, German engineering, and Japanese creativity. In this video, you'll see legendary models from the USA, Japan, and Germany. So make sure to stick until the end of this video to learn about what makes these cars special. American cars. 1968 Dodge Charger RT. What is it with bad guys always driving a Charger? Well, blame that on the 1968 Dodge Charger RT. With its fastback design, recessed grille, and peekaboo concealed headlights, this car looks like it's always in stealth mode, even when it's sitting still. It's no wonder it stole the show in Bullitt and even more recently in the Fast and Furious franchise. But it's not just about looks. The Charger RT packs a beastly 7.0-liter V8 engine, churning out 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. It could rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds, and its quarter-mile time clocked in around 14.5 seconds. Back in the day, those numbers made it one of the fastest cars on the streets, and let's be honest, it's still no slouch today. Drivers had the choice between the A833 4-speed manual or the 3-speed TorqueFlite automatic transmission, giving it just the right amount of control or chaos depending on how brave you were. The Charger wasn't just a car, it was a statement. I have arrived and yes, I'm taking up the entire lane. 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner Hemi. Next up is the 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner Hemi, a car that proved you didn't need luxury to burn rubber. This bad boy was all about stripping things down to the essentials. No leather seats, no fancy radio, just raw, unfiltered muscle under the hood. With its legendary 426 Hemi V8 engine producing 425 horsepower, the Roadrunner could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and run the quarter mile in 13.6 seconds. Well, not bad for a car that could also beep like a cartoon bird. Seriously, the car came with a Roadrunner horn. If you wanted a vehicle that could make you feel alive, or at least make your passengers question your life choices, this was the car to get. And let's not forget, at 140 miles per hour, this thing could outrun just about anything on the road, except maybe your own bad decisions. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Now let's talk about a car so rare it makes unicorns look common. The 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. This car was built for one purpose: drag racing. With its all-aluminum 427 V8, it boasted 430 horsepower. The rumor has it, the actual figure was even higher. You know how Chevy likes to keep secrets. The Camaro ZL1 could do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.2 seconds and ran the quarter mile in an impressive 13.2 seconds. But here's the kicker. Only 69 units were ever made, which is why it commands a jaw-dropping $1 million to $1.5 million at auctions today. So, if you ever spot one of these unicorns on the road, do yourself a favor and take a picture. Or better yet, take a video. Otherwise, no one will believe you. 1963 Shelby Cobra. When Carroll Shelby decided to marry American horsepower with British chassis engineering, the result was the 1963 Shelby Cobra, a car that changed the game forever. This lightweight roadster packed either a 289 cubic inch V8 or, for those who really like danger, a 427 FE engine that made it ridiculously fast. With 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4 seconds and a top speed of 153 miles per hour, the Cobra was a road-legal bullet with 4 wheels. It wasn't just fast, it was scary fast. In fact, driving one of these was less about enjoying the scenery and more about hoping you'd live long enough to tell people you drove one. The design? Simple yet aggressive. Hood scoop, side exhaust, no roof, and no apologies. It's the automotive equivalent of wearing a leather jacket with no shirt. Bold, a little dangerous, but undeniably cool. 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. Last but certainly not least, we've got the 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. This car was Oldsmobile's way of saying, hey, we can do muscle too. And they weren't kidding. With its 455 cubic inch V8 and the W30 package, this car delivered 370 horsepower, though some claim it was closer to 400. The W30 package added all sorts of goodies, like a special camshaft, aluminum intake manifold, and a forced air induction system, giving it the edge it needed to stand out. It could do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds and a quarter mile in 13.8 seconds. Not bad for a car that most people didn't expect to be a contender. If muscle cars were high school students, the 442 W30 would be the quiet kid who shows up at the talent show and absolutely crushes it. Nobody saw it coming, but everyone remembers it. Japanese cars. If there's one thing Japan knows how to do, it's building sports cars that make your heart race faster than your speedometer can keep up. First off is the Mitsubishi Galant VR4. Released in 1988, the Mitsubishi Galant VR4 was a performance powerhouse masquerading as a sedan. Built for the World Rally Championship, this car was part of Mitsubishi's effort to dominate Group A racing, and boy did it deliver. With 195 horsepower under the hood and vicious real-time four-wheel drive, the VR4 had handling that made it feel glued to the road. It could shoot from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour in just 3.3 seconds, making you feel like you were living out your rally driver dreams, even if you were just picking up groceries. While it wasn't the fastest car on the list with a top speed of 137 miles per hour, it brought a unique charm that only a rally-ready sedan can offer. Unfortunately, international taxes and tariffs made it a bit of a tough sell outside Japan. But hey, sometimes the best things in life are underrated. Just ask anyone who's ever driven one. Toyota Supra Mark IV. The Toyota Supra Mark IV. This is a car that made mechanics, tuners, and fans all over the world lose their minds, and for good reason. Released in 1993, the Supra packed a twin-turbocharged 3-liter 2JZ GTE inline-6 engine capable of producing 320 horsepower in the US version and a top speed of 177 miles per hour. With 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds and a quarter-mile time of 13 seconds, this beast wasn't just fast, it was frighteningly good. What really set the Supra apart though was its braking performance. This thing stopped from 70 miles per hour in a record-breaking 149 feet, which was unheard of at the time. But as iconic as it is, the Supra wasn't without controversy. The 1994 model was temporarily banned in the US due to reliability concerns, proving that even legends aren't immune to a few bumps in the road. Today, clean examples fetch prices that'll make your wallet cry. But hey, greatness never comes cheap. Toyota MR2 Turbo W10. The Toyota MR2 Turbo is proof that good things come in small, lightweight packages. First introduced in 1984, this car was marketed as a midship runabout 2-seater designed to give everyday drivers the thrill of a sports car without draining their savings. And let's face it, there's something endlessly cool about a car that puts the engine right behind the driver. With 200 bhp and a top speed of 135 miles per hour, the MR2 Turbo was fast enough to keep things exciting but still practical enough to be your daily driver. It wasn't just fast, it was fun, with playful handling that made even a trip to the gas station feel like a race. The MR2 stuck around until 2007, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most accessible and beloved sports cars ever built. It might not have been the biggest or the baddest, but it sure knew how to punch above its weight. Mazda RX-7 FC3S. When you talk about the Mazda RX-7, you have to talk about the rotary engine, that little mechanical wonder that made this car feel unlike anything else on the road. The second-engine RX-7, known as the FC3S, came with a turbocharged rotary engine producing 182 bhp and a top speed of 144 miles per hour. But numbers don't tell the whole story. What made the RX-7 special was its balance and smooth handling. Mazda's engineers built a car that wasn't just fast, it was brilliant to drive. Whether you saw it in Fast and Furious or raced it in Gran Turismo, the RX-7 became a cultural phenomenon, cementing its place as one of the most iconic sports cars of the 80s and 90s. The RX-7 was proof that you didn't need a conventional engine to build a world-class sports car. You just needed some clever engineering and a whole lot of ambition. Nissan Skyline GT-R R32. And now let's talk about Godzilla. The Nissan Skyline GT-R R32. No supercars list can be complete without the Skyline, at least as an honorable mention. This car didn't just change the game, it rewrote the rulebook. Released in 1989, the R32 packed the twin-turbocharged 2.6-liter RB26 inline-6, capable of producing 276 horsepower officially, though insiders knew it was more like 320 horsepower. With a top speed of 156 miles per hour and handling that could make a Porsche blush, the R32 was a dominant force in racing. In fact, it was so dominant that the Australian Touring Car Championship had to change the rules to ban turbochargers and all-wheel drive systems just to give everyone else a fighting chance. The R32 Skyline wasn't just fast, it was technologically advanced, featuring all-wheel drive and a clever four-wheel steering system. It became a legend both on and off the track, inspiring countless enthusiasts and earning its place as one of the most beloved Japanese sports cars ever made. German cars. When it comes to engineering perfection, no one does it quite like the Germans. These cars weren't just built, they were crafted with a focus on precision, performance, and innovation that left the competition in the dust. And of course, we can't talk about German cars without mentioning Porsche. Porsche 944 Turbo. For this video, we chose the Porsche 944 Turbo. First released in 1985, the Porsche 944 Turbo was proof that you didn't need a 911 badge to have fun behind the wheel of a Porsche. Powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine, it produced 220 horsepower with the more aggressive Turbo S model pushing that to 250. It produced 220 horsepower with the more aggressive Turbo S model pushing that to 250. This sleek sports car could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.5 seconds and had a top speed of 162 miles per hour, numbers that were impressive for its era. But it wasn't just about performance. With its pop-up headlights, glass rear lid, and aerodynamic front apron, the 944 Turbo was as much a fashion statement as it was a driver's car. Design tweaks over the years, like the addition of a black rear wing in 1990, kept the car looking fresh. Porsche even experimented with a turbo cabriolet in 1991. If you wanted to feel the wind in your hair while blasting down the Autobahn, the 944 had you covered. Audi Quattro. Launched in 1980, the Audi Quattro wasn't just a car, it was a revolution. With a 2.1-liter 5-cylinder turbocharged engine making 197 horsepower, it might not seem like much by modern standards, but this car wasn't about raw speed, it was about traction. Audi's four-wheel drive system gave the Quattro incredible grip, allowing it to conquer rally stages and mountain passes that would leave lesser cars spinning in the mud. It dominated the World Rally Championship, forever changing the landscape of motorsports and setting the template for future high-performance all-wheel drive cars. Even on the road, the Quattro's 7-second sprint to 60 miles per hour and 137 miles per hour top speed felt exhilarating. It's a car that made every driver feel like they had a little rally driver inside them, and it looked the part too, with its muscular stance and flared fenders. Porsche 959S. In 1986, Porsche set out to build a car that would be decades ahead of its competition, and they succeeded with the Porsche 959S. Powered by a twin-turbocharged 2.85-liter flat-six engine, the 959S version produced 508 horsepower, while the standard model wasn't far behind with 444 horsepower. With a tested top speed of 211 miles per hour, the 959 was one of the fastest cars of its era, blowing past rivals and cementing itself as a technological masterpiece. Porsche packed it with innovations, from all-wheel drive to cutting-edge aerodynamics that would later become standard on turbocharged 911 models. The 959S wasn't just a car, it was a statement. Even today, it stands as one of the most significant supercars ever made, proving that Porsche doesn't just keep up with the competition, they set the pace. BMW 3.0 CSL, the Batmobile. Before the letters M and power became synonymous with performance, there was the BMW 3.0 CSL. Released in 1972, this lightweight coupe earned the nickname Batmobile thanks to its wild aerodynamic kit. But the CSL wasn't just about looks, it was a born racer. The 3.0 CSL dominated European touring car championships throughout the 1970s, helping BMW establish its reputation as a builder of the ultimate driving machines. It even secured 2 class victories at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, cementing its legacy in motorsport history. Driving a 3.0 CSL wasn't just about speed, it was about precision. Every corner, every straight, and every downshift felt perfectly dialed in, making it a favorite among those who lived for the thrill of the track. Roof CTR Yellowbird, the beast that redefined supercars. If you want to talk about a car that shook the automotive world, look no further than the Roof CTR Yellowbird. Released in 1989, this wasn't just a modified Porsche, it was an entirely different beast. With a twin-turbocharged 3.4-liter flat-six engine producing a staggering 710 horsepower, the Yellowbird was built to break records and blow minds. Weighing in at just 1,250 kilograms, the CTR had an astonishing power-to-weight ratio of 1.6 kilograms per horsepower. It could rocket from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.5 seconds and reach 200 in just 9 seconds. Numbers that made even Ferrari and Lamborghini sit up and take notice. And then there's the top speed. A jaw-dropping 360 kilometers per hour or 224 miles per hour. To this day, the Yellowbird remains one of the most iconic supercars ever built, known for its carbon fiber body, forged aluminum rims, and aerodynamic efficiency that was as uncompromising as its performance. There's something truly special about German sports cars. They're fast, they're beautifully engineered, and they've got the pedigree to back it up. And there you have it, 15 cars that captured the spirit of an era. These machines weren't just about going fast, though they certainly did that. They were about freedom, rebellion, and the thrill of the open road. Even today, they inspire awe and envy in equal measure, reminding us that cars aren't just transportation, they're an experience. So what do you think? Which of these legends would you want parked in your driveway? Or better yet, which one would you take for a spin if nobody was watching? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because we've got more gearhead goodness coming your way. Until next time, drive safe, stay curious, and keep chasing the open road.